also want to call out the NCAA. Why is it that I could get March Madness live and follow my brackets and do all these things online? I don't have anything of the sort for women's. That's ridiculous. I want to follow the women's game too. Give me an app. Give me a good app. Give everyone a good app. You'll get more ratings, more people watching the games. I'm sick of this nonsense of like, oh, women's sports and men's sports, they're both good. They're sports. Welcome back to the 2024 Brain vs. Taste Buds Challenge! Of course, upsets galore for my taste buds in the Sweet 16 if you saw those videos yesterday. If you didn't, you should go on over and watch them. The first video of all of them with the West and East picks in the Sweet 16 also has all the rules for this, where my taste buds are drinking all these different beers. They're assigned to different teams, and that's how my taste buds make picks to go against my brain, and there's points involved, and one of us are going to win. My taste buds have won 2 out of 3. Yeah, you can get all that in the other videos, but let's get going with the Elite 8 and the Elite 8 of beers, apparently. We got number 6, Clemson, taking on number 4, Alabama. Even my brain did it. It's like, Alabama against Clemson. Didn't see that coming, but here we go. Like, this is where we're at in the West. This is an interesting bracket here. Let's check it out. So we're going to start with Clemson. If you watched the earlier videos, you remember that the rankings go out the door. And we're just tasting these as if I've never had them again. Even though I did. Maybe I'll remember. We'll see. Oh yes, Clemson was one of the first hoppy beers. It's a solid beer. In this round, I'm not going to rank anything until I've had both, by the way, just to keep it fair. The reason this is good is because not only is it session-y, it's not too crazy in terms of the bitterness, but the flavor that's there, even though I'm guessing it's citrus involved based on how citrusy it tastes, it's not overpowering. It's like they somehow balanced it well with the beer. And so because of that, this is a solid beer. And I do remember that Alabama may have had some interesting things happening, so let's see. Yeah. Alabama. It's hard. It's like something about it. This reminds me of college a little too much. I drink a lot of bad beers in college, and this isn't nearly as bad. I'm not saying it's a bad beer like college. It's way too simple. This one is a very easy one. My taste buds are going with the upset. Number 6 Clemson is moving on to the Final Four. Out of the East, we have number 2 Iowa State against number 5 San Diego State. We switched the seeds here just so that my system continues to work, so I remember which beer is what. But this is a good one. This is a very good one. I would say in terms of matchup probability, it's actually not that off. Like, San Diego State can certainly beat UConn, I think. I think UConn wins the majority of those battles, but just because you win 7 out of 10 doesn't mean that 3 out of 10 isn't going to happen in this one-and-done tournament. So this is very possible. So let's see if Iowa State makes the Final Four in this scenario. It's a very solid beer. Like, I think I probably talked about, I don't remember. I probably talked about it the first time. It's got a Crank and Foamers type of taste. It's very good. It's got a little bit of like a, it's hard to explain, like a pastry torte. It's very subtle. Whatever it is very, very drinkable. Good job, Iowa State. Let's go on to San Diego State. Okay, so I understand why San Diego State moved on. It's very intriguing. Very, very, very intriguing. This one might have to actually go to a sip-off, but we'll have to see. In terms of this matchup, I could also, if this happened, I could see San Diego State beating Iowa State too. But Iowa State's good enough to make the Final Four. I think they should have been a number 1 seed. I actually think it's nonsense that they have to play San Diego State or UConn to make the Final Four. I think that's where they got screwed. But that's just, it's the way it goes in the NCAA tournament. Seeds are made and things happen. I do want to call out to everyone. I know there weren't a lot of upsets this year in terms of now we're in the Sweet 16 and all these things. I actually personally believe that NIL will actually improve college basketball. Probably college football too, but let's stick to basketball. You're going to have more star players that are going to go to different schools, and play, knowing that if we make the tournament, I'm going to get a big deal and I'm going to have this huge team. Instead of going to a top team and having all this competition where it's like maybe you're not as good as this star, that doesn't matter because you have people forget you have local advertising. So if you do well on your team, local advertising could be like, hey, you want to be a spokesperson? You literally might make money as a college kid on these little mid-major teams. I just think that that's awesome. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be even better for the women's game. We're going to start to see more upsets there because you're going to see women just go to any college that they want. And that tournament's awesome already. And you guys, if you're not watching it, you should. And I also want to call out the NCAA. Why is it that I could get March Madness live and follow my brackets and do all these things online? I don't have anything of the sort for women's. That's ridiculous. I want to follow the women's game too. Give me an app. Give me a good app. Give everyone a good app. You'll get more ratings, more people watching the games. I'm sick of this nonsense of women's sports and men's sports. They're both good. They're sports. I was watching both. There was the first round games going on of the women's and the second day of first round games for the men's. I was watching 1 million games. How awesome is that? If you enjoy March Madness, that's where it's at. More games. the second round came, I was able to watch even more games. Just wait till the Sweet 16 and everything. I watch games all the time. It's a good time. So get your shit together, NCAA. But besides that, both of these beers are going to get a solid 6 in this round. So it's a sip-off. Okay. Yeah, my taste buds know. Number 2, Iowa State is moving on to the Final Four! And we move on to the South bracket. We got number 2 Marquette taking on number 1 Houston. And I have to say, so far out of the picks, my taste buds are really going head-to-head with my brain based on those earlier picks. Iowa State making the Final Four. I mean, that's insane. Like, if that happens, my taste bud probably wins. Just kind of throwing out some spoilers there. Although there's other things that can happen, and I have some other teams in play, but we'll see. In this matchup, it's a kind of a big one. Let's see what Marquette has to give us again. I could see why Marquette moved down. It's very tasty. It's a tasty beer. I think the biggest thing with the Marquette beer is that, 1, it's drinkable, and 2, it has a lot of beer flavor. It's not a beer it's not Miller Lite bland. It's not Bud Light bland. And you guys can sue me. I don't want you to be my sponsor. I don't give a shit. You guys, your beers taste terrible, but this beer is like what you should be doing with beer and just making solid beer. Like, how hard is that? Throw in some good grain. Forget your triple filtered. Like, get out of here. Use good grains. Don't just use 2-row or 6-row malts. There's so many other malts you could use to put flavor into your beer. Do it. There's a reason why the English hate American beers. It's solid. It's a solid beer. Let's see what Houston has to offer. Oh, man. Houston's bringing it. And I don't want to be biased in my taste buds, but things that really excite me. Good beer and decently, like, it has to be balanced. It shouldn't just be, if it's a sour, it shouldn't just be like, that's all it is. IPA. That's all. Like, there's got to be subtle things happening in different ways. This Houston beer has that going on. This one, 5. This one, 7. Number 1 Houston is moving on! And welcome to the Midwest Bracket Final. Got number 2 Tennessee taking on number 5 Gonzaga. It's amazing how fast we go through these, by the way. Another great matchup. I have this matchup actually in several brackets. And my winner is down below. It maybe shouldn't surprise you. I don't know. But this is a good one. I have to say that out of all the matchups that are coming in the Sweet 16, this one intrigues me the most. Because Gonzaga is a team I feel has always been there. And they have good teams, and they just didn't come through. But they always make it this far, regardless. And it's just the way things go. So when we're thinking about it, Gonzaga over here has actually got a really good chance to pull off some upsets and make the Final Four, probably. Some people I know that have chosen Gonzaga to win it all. It would be amazing if this was the year they did that. After all those years, I thought they were going. I picked them to win multiple times, and they never did. So, if it happened this year, it'd be like, okay, the one time I didn't choose them to win it. Granted, they're a 5 seed though. I just don't think a 5 seed is ever going to do it. But I mean, we've had all these different seeds do it. they actually may have a shot. But Tennessee is a great defensive team, and it's going to be tough. This matchup here is going to be great. You watch. I wouldn't be surprised this matchup goes to overtime. So let's see what number 2 Tennessee is bringing my taste buds. Ooh, very good sour. It's a very solid sour. This is certainly the Warhead story. The thing about this sour that I think brings it is that it's that vanilla flavor that's like sneaking in. Like it's just like a sneak in flavor. It makes it's like a pastry, like a good pastry, like a cranberry lemon bar or something like that. Something I love. I love those kinds. When you put lemon or you put some sort of sour in a sugary pastry, it's so good. So good. That's why I'm Italian. Like, please put some lemon in this. Very solid. Very solid. Now let's see what Gonzaga's bringing us. I can see why Gonzaga moved on. It's a very solid beer, again. It's got decent flavor. There's not a lot going on in the back end, though, now that I have these other flavors to go along with. Again, Gonzaga's got a great shot. But not to my taste buds, because number 2 Tennessee is moving on! And that does it for the Elite 8. We got 4 Final Four teams based on my taste buds, and this is going head to head with my brain here. It's a lot of battles, a lot of picks against what my brain picked. It's mad crazy. We'll see what happens when my taste buds are going for it with a lead, I think. I don't know. Of course, we're going to have the Final Four and Championship picks tomorrow as we finish this Brain versus Taste Buds Challenge blind beer taste test. It's going to be a blast. Join me. So, who are my taste buds going to pick as the national champion? Do you guys even agree with any of this? I don't know. We'll see. Till next time. Salut.